What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got an AOT video. So, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross AOT Collab, making it to global sooner than we expected. I was genuinely thinking we'd get this in like maybe like a month or two, but we don't have an exact date as of right now. But we do have the official, posts from the actual Netmarble Twitter, as well as some dev notes going over exactly what we're getting. So let's take a look at the little clip trailer thing first, and then we'll go from there. That was loud. Okay, so you got your little 50-second ad showcasing.
I got your.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. Now, here is the little special media social event thing. This is what they used to first showcase Eren, Mikasa, and Levi. But let's actually go take a look at the dev notes and see what's going on from here. And zoom in. Okay, this is the dev team. Thank you for the support and enjoying the summer events that are in progress after the 100-day celebration event. We are always reading the forum and social media platforms for your thoughts, stuff. Today, we have to explain. Last time in our dev notes, we briefly mentioned that a gigantic new story mode will be following the Tensura collab. We kind of had a guess that we would be getting this on global as well when they announced that, like pretty early. It's our pleasure to officially announce the second highly anticipated collab, Attack on Titan. Which is, I really like where this is going. Now on global, we've gotten 2 collabs relatively quick, right? Within like 5 months of the game being out. That's like, to me, that's like a really nice sign. We'll probably get another one before first anniversary on global, if I was to guess. And I like that. More collabs, the better. It's really fun and exciting for the game. It's a lot of new events. Going down, collab world quest. We have a couple things. We have the AOT storyline with Eren, Mikasa, and Levi doing their Titan extermination stuff, where 7 Deadly Sins people hop on the quest. AOT main heroes. So these are the 3 characters. Eren is a transforming character, and the other 2 are pretty good as well. Well, Mikasa being the least used. Titan elimination. You'll be able to go on an expedition with a max of 8 heroes to reclaim territory. This content will come about as you play through the world quest. Just more stuff over there. Titan Conquest. Okay, and then this last part is a 4-person battle against a Colossal Titan. Facebook. Okay. And this is kind of just like shorthand reading up on what we have here. If you were following with this when it dropped on JP, it's the exact same stuff. The irony is that it's like all like it's still here. Like it hasn't gone away yet. That's the best part. So we are getting this relatively soon, and I'm going to flex a little bit here. Take a look at this. Starting off with the Mikasa, then we got the Levi, Eren, and SR Eren. All maxed out 6/6, all with their outfits unlocked. And then all Super Awakened, which doesn't exist on global yet. So the goal is going to be doing the same exact thing when they come out on global. So now, a quick heads up as to what you should expect from the units themselves. To be honest, they are just good enough. They're in a similar situation where with the slime units, where they're going to be used because of the hype around them, and then they're eventually going to be dropped because they just can't compete. with JP's meta. JP's meta, including units like Lost Vein Meliodas, Zeldris, Estarossa, Elizabeth, and Super Awakening as a whole. But on global, if this comes soon, like within the next 2 weeks, if this drops within the next 2 weeks, they will be very, very good on global until we get units like Elizabeth and Lost Vein Meliodas. But the fact that those two units do not exist yet on global makes these units significantly better. If you remember back to the Slime collab, almost no one used any of the units on PvP after the first week of them being out. It's still quite fun to use these guys over on PvP. I'll quickly go over what all the units do. I'll actually just open up bcdatabase.com and we can still see the units here. So let's start off with the free-to-play Eren Jaeger. Blue increases damage dealt to unknown race by 30%. Unknown race is simply like Gother Merlin. You can actually take a look. You go here and sort by race into unknown. You got Gother Merlin and then the slime units plus Hawk. Then we got Eren's moveset is 240% on a single target, really high. This is like the highest attack stat multiplier there is. Cancel stances on one enemy inflicts damage equal to 300. Same thing, 500%. So very strong move. Increases basic stats by 20%. Evade, and skills to 30 and 50%. This is the same move that Red Derriere has. So nice self booster and a lot of damage on the first part. None of these slime units have any association like Fate Links, so they just have what's over here on the side. And then Shatter ignores resistance, which is really good damage. And this, the fact that he's an SR, he actually ends up getting used a decent amount when we got the SR 30%. I don't remember the exact multipliers, but rare units and SR units got buffed in PvP for one of the PvP metas. So things like that, like he's pretty good, like this SR Eren. Then we got the transforming, the main unit of this whole collab. Increases damage by 10% for each ultimate gauge orb the hero has. 240% on the first move. Fills ultimate gauge just like Escanor's move. Just like Green Escanor's. Then here we got inflicts damage equal to 120% AoE, and then it disables ultimate moves for up to 2 turns if you rank it up all the way, which is nice. Ultimate, transform into Titan form and increase attack-related stats, defense, HP by 10% for 5 turns. Decrease enemies' attack-related stats by 30% for 1 turn. And then this buff, right, this number of the attack, defense, and HP-related stats scales up to 35%. And keep in mind that it says related stats, which means that every single stat here gets buffed by 35%. So everything gets buffed. Then going down, he has separate Titan moves. Uppercut, which is amplified. This is like a Red Escanor style. 30% buff. 30% damage for each buff on him, and he'll have 3 buffs to start off with. Then we got the Slam Down. Increases damage equal to 150% on all enemies. Depletes ultimate gauge. So this is exactly Red Escanor's moveset. And then he has a separate ultimate, which is inflicts damage equal to 840% on one enemy. He hits like a truck. So first transforming unit, genuine transforming unit. Let's see. Can I see? No. That's fine. Okay. And then we got Levi, which is one of my favorite units, and it's because of his passive. This hero will always crit against the enemy that has the lowest leftover HP ratio. Applies when there's only one enemy. Also applies when all enemies have the same HP ratio. What this means is that he is guaranteed to crit no matter what, as long as you go for the lowest health person. And not lowest health numerically, but ratio-wise, right? If someone has 50% HP and the other person has 70% HP. They can still have less numerical HP, but they still have more of their percentage-wise. I don't know how to say that without confusing a billion people, but I hope you understood that. Either way, if you go for the lowest HP ratio person, he will crit. And he has a good amount of crit damage and has spike as well. What this means by one enemy and all enemies, the one enemy makes sense, right? There's only one person left, it'll crit all the time. And if they're all the same HP ratio, he will be able to crit any of the three. So if you're going first, he can still crit on the first turn, essentially. This is Spike. Spike is 2 times crit damage. This is the same thing as Jericho's move, Green Jericho. Then we got Despair here, recovers 15% of diminished HP when critical hit occurs. This is the same mechanic that Blue Zeldris has, who's not on global yet, but works the same way. When you crit, you get a lot of lifesteal. And then Ultimate cancels buffs and stances and inflicts damage equal to 630%, scaling all the way up to 945. Here are his stats. A little bit low on the pierce rate, which this was higher. The crit chance is irrelevant because you will always be able to crit someone no matter what. So it's just a whole chunk of crit damage you stack onto him. And yeah, that's Levi. And then Mikasa unfortunately does not get used that much. Probably the worst of all 4 units, including the SR Aaron. For each other ally that received damage when attacked, increases the hero's stats by 3%. These type of passives just don't work that well. It takes forever to scale up and for actually have some meaningful difference in the damage. If she herself was also included on this passive, where it's not only her allies but herself that if she took damage it would scale up, it'd be a decent amount better. But here are moves: inflicts damage equal to 130% and has bleed for 2 turns. It's okay. Like, the thing is, she doesn't synergize with bleed, so it makes this, like, the fact that this move has bleed actually makes it worse for her, because she could have just had a move that did raw damage and no bleed at all, and it would have been better. Inflicts secret technique. So this is the same mechanic that Lost Vein Meliodas has, also not on global. And he has this on his ultimate, where he does additional damage based on the number of cards in his hands. So for each card of that unit, so we need more Mikasa cards in your hand, this will do 20% extra damage for each card. This move is severely under ratioed. So it is really, really bad. It's just not good. These numbers are really poor and needed to be higher. This needs to be like 180%, like 220%, and 300%. These moves just don't, they just aren't where they need to be. And Mikasa's the first unit to get this on a normal skill. So unfortunately, this kind of set the precedent of what this skill is going to be in the future. And I don't believe they have buffed percentage ratios before on moves. I could be wrong, but this 100% needs a buff just for future. Like, they're going to reuse this move on other units, and it's going to be bad whenever we see it. You just don't get that many cards, right? Like, let's say you had like 4 Mikasa cards in hand when using this move, right? We're talking about an 80% increase. 4 Mikasa cards of the of the potential 7 that you'd have. We're talking about more than half of your cards in your hand, and this would do just an additional 80%. So it would do 160%. Why does that matter when you can just go take a look at Eren here, who does 240% on his level 1? Like, why in what world does this matter, right? Like, this is just, moves like this need to be stronger than static moves. Like, they need to be able to scale higher than these moves. That's the whole point of them. That's why if you take a look at like this, like Amplify, you see how this starts off at 180? Like, this is correct, because even though it's weaker with no buffs, it has a easy enough climb to get over a move like this. Big difference. Yeah, not too much on Mikasa anymore. Increases basic hero stats by 50% for 3 turns and inflicts damage. Those are the 3 units. Like I said, they're going to be pretty good on global when they come out, and you should be able to use them just fine on PvP. They might actually be meta for a decent amount of time, but as soon as Lost Vein Meliodas and Elizabeth come out, which we're some time away, Lost Vein Meliodas being closer than Elizabeth, unless they drastically change things up, these guys will do well on global, which I'm happy with, that they're bringing them earlier so we can actually use them and not feel bad about summoning for them when they drop. That being said, let me just show the banner real quickly one more time so you guys have an idea of how it's going to be. It is a no pity. This is a festival style banner. You get to 300 points. Every single summon is kind of like one point, right? Or is it no, each summon is 3 points. So every multi is 30. 10 multis gets you a GSSR, and then 20 multis gets you one of the 3 units guaranteed. You do not get to pick, it is just randomized. And then you'll also be able to exchange their coins in the shop for other versions of them, right? So if I get 3 extra Aaron dupes, which I did end up having, I actually got 7 copies of Aaron on top of him already being 6/6, and had to exchange 3 to get the last Mikasa that I wanted. So I pulled 11 Aarons and 5 Mikasas, and I really just wanted to pull one. I wanted to pull the Mikasa rather than use their coins, so I could save the coins for Super Awakening. But you get the point. That's gonna be it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little breakdown. Once this drops, I'll probably be doing a live stream, doing my summons there. And I haven't been streaming that much, but I'm getting all my stuff set up, and it should be good within the next week or two, I'd say. But that's for now. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll see you all next time.